asked my husband, "Where are we? Did we make a wrong turn?" He's confused as he's unsure where we are. Hi guys, welcome back to the Quora Zone. Today we're reading from Have You Ever Experienced a Glitch in the Matrix? What are some glitch in the matrix stories in which something inexplicable happens? Our next post is from Not. I was taking my kid to a doctor appointment in a busy suburban office complex. As we were walking in, just for a brief moment, everything around us stopped.
And you better get started. Wow, I just got a big headache.
Cars driving down the street, other people walking to their cars, insects, everything. They all just stopped moving. It was a busy area near one of the busiest intersections in town. Instead of quiet there because of all the traffic from both roads. For that brief moment, there was no sound either. I dismissed it as my brain hallucinating or misinterpretation something, but my kid immediately spoke up and said, "That was weird. It seemed like everything had just stopped. I've never had anything like that happen. I don't have a clue what happened." That's my glitch in the matrix moment. Oh wow. I don't have an answer for that one either. That's really cool. Honestly, that's like the movie Click. But let me know in the comments if you guys have an answer for this. Our next post is from Tina Shrek Holtkamp. We were driving in the car and we were about 10 minutes away from being home. I look up and notice the intersection that we are at. My daughter had asked me to check my email and see if I had received an email from my teacher. I checked my email and there was nothing. Literally like 2 minutes that I'm looking at my email, I look up and don't recognize where we are. I asked my husband, "Where are we? Did we make a wrong turn?" He's confused as he's unsure where we are. I put out maps on my phone and we are 2 towns over, nearly to the next town. We were over an hour away from home. We were also confused about how we ended up there. Strangest thing I've ever experienced. So usually I would say that you've died and jumped to another timeline, except they're usually back a bit before. So this one here seemed more like an alien abduction because it was the loss of time and she said it was 10 minutes away from being home. I would say an alien abduction because of the missing time. Let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments. Our next post is from Ashish Thakuri. So this thing happened with me today morning and it freaked the daylights out of me. So a brief backstory before we move on to the actual event. Well, I've been preparing for competitive exams as such. I have to write my weekly test every Sunday morning, and today I had to appear for an aptitude test. Now, just a few weeks ago, an old friend of mine told me that he's also planning to give a shot to the exams, and as such needed some guidance from me, since I'm the only one with more experience. Back then, I gave a brief summary of the exam pattern and the book list, and other such stuff to him personally. More importantly, I also advised him to enroll for the test. We didn't have any conversation after that. Now today, while I was writing my exam, halfway through, I saw my friend sitting diagonally opposite me and giving the test. I was surprised in a happy way, and it brought a smile to my face. I looked at him again, and this happened numerous times as I was writing my exam. Same hairstyle. I've even seen him wearing the same jacket earlier as well, and there was without a doubt in my mind that it was my buddy, Abhishek. Ever since I saw him, I couldn't wait for the exam to be over, so I could go and meet him. As such, I was looking at him every now and then throughout the exam. Now, the bell in the hall rang, signaling the end of the exam. Naturally, I looked at my friend who was one of the first people in the room to rise from his seat, and he was just sitting 2 rows ahead of me near the doorway. So he stood up, handed his sheet over to the invigilator, and left from the door. Just a few seconds later, I handed over my sheet to the invigilator as well, and chased my friend walking out the same doorway he left from. But then the invigilator called me back, just to cross-check if one of the sheets that had fallen down belonged to me. I declined, but this interruption hardly lasted a few seconds, so I continued walking again towards the main exit, which led outside the main complex onto a road. I turned my head left and turned right. My friend had vanished into thin air. I dialed his number up right away, and this is how our conversation went. Me: "Bro, where'd you go?" "What? I just saw you leaving the exam hall. You haven't enrolled for the classes, right? And you didn't tell me." "What? I'm sitting at home, bro. I haven't joined in yet." I went silent for a few seconds, just trying to comprehend what did just happen to me. Him: "Hello? Are you there? What happened, bro?" Me: to avoid sounding like a lunatic, I avoided it. "Nothing, bro. I thought I saw you, but it might have been something else. Though I was dead sure it was him, only womb I saw. I'll call you later." "Okay, bro. I will join the classes soon, though. My mum is calling, we'll talk later. I can clearly hear his mum calling him in the background. So what did just happen? There could be two possible options. One, possibility that my friend was lying to me, but I would negate that since I trust him, as I've known him since past 9 years, and he's an intelligent and completely sane person. I even heard his mum calling out in the background. The second possibility might be that I was hallucinating or I was high, and I'll negate all these options too, because I've never done any psychedelic drugs. I don't suffer from PTSD or schizophrenia. I'm only a social drinker and drink occasionally on social gatherings. In fact, I am intelligent and will read the majority of the people I have known. I'm completely sound, both physically and mentally. Furthermore, my mock exam, which was based on quantitative reasoning, went great, and almost every question of mine was correct. Now, this would have never happened if I wasn't in the right frames of mind. I don't know, maybe it was a glitch, maybe he was in another timeline and his friend was there. Then he still passed his test really good, so let me know in the comments what you guys think about that post. Our next post is from Addison Taylor Rich. Our sofa ate our TV remote. We really have no idea where the darn thing went. Mum dropped it in the sofa. No big deal, we thought. We'd just pull the remote out from between the cushions. Nope, not in there. We removed the cushions, stuck our hands down the back, looked under the sofa, turned the thing upside down and shook it. No rattling noises from inside. No remote falling out. To this day, 6 months later, the poor remote is still lost in the void. My only explanation for this is that the remote has gone to another timeline, so this person in another timeline now has two remotes. As this has happened many times, some people have the identical same thing twice, or someone has lost something and it's never showed up before. Our next post is from Krista 11. One day I went to a fair with my boyfriend. The parking lot was huge and it was impossible to find a place to park. Therefore, after several attempts, we decided to leave the car on the side of the road. On the way back, we looked for the car at that spot, but it was not there. We went around the entire parking lot, checking all the cars on the roadside. There were several thinking we were lost. Eventually, we were able to find my car again thanks to the GPS on my phone, only because I had the AirTag of my house keys in the car. The car was parked in a regular parking spot, close to the entrance, but upon our arrival, it was impossible to park. My boyfriend doesn't believe in the paranormal, but he was shocked because we both had the same memory. There's no explanation for what has happened. That is crazy. Usually you may forget where your car is when you parked at the shopping centres to go shopping. This one here, they were parked very far away though, so usually you know whereabouts your car is parked. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Our next post is from Treeface. Just recently had one. I was set to meet up with my father for lunch at a local restaurant we frequent on a monthly basis. Being close to midsummer, I decided to walk there. It's a 10-minute walk. I know this very well as I've lived in this neighbourhood for well over a decade now, and I'm no stranger to timing my walks around the area. I left 5 minutes early because that's how I roll. More serious things like appointments and whatnot, I like to be 30 minutes early. Never know what could happen. Anyways, I'm sure many of us are accustomed to having accurate tellings of time. My computer, my phone, all my clocks around my place are all synced up, and it's satellite time. No less, so it's safe to assume the time I have is the same time my father has, because we don't get it from our computers' phones. Anyways, so I'm crossing the street right before the block that the restaurant is on, when I feel my leg vibrate. It's my phone. I pick it up, and my dad asks if I forgot something today. I'm a little surprised. I know what he's talking about, and I tell him I'm now just approaching the restaurant. I'll be inside in a minute. He's already seated. When I get inside, I apologize for being late. Think to myself, I guess he got here earlier than me. However, when I double check my phone, couldn't see the time when I answered the call. I notice I'm 5 minutes late, and then a message from my dad from a previous call we made. Somehow, I don't know how it took me 20 minutes to this meager 10-minute walk. Seriously, I was on point with the clock before I left, and there was no big delays with crossing the few streets I had to cross, so I have no idea how this happened. My only answer is probably maybe they walked slower, like dawdled, had a little look around. I don't really know. Or it could have been an alien abduction, but it's only 5 minutes, but it might be a reason? I don't really know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, that's all from the Quora zone today. I hope you guys enjoyed these glitches and matrices as much as I did. And if this helps any of you guys that may have had your own stories that relate to any of these ones. If you want to listen to more Get to the Matrix stories or any posts from me, make sure to subscribe, like, even if you have your own personal story as well. Let me know in the comments or send it to my email and I can post it on my channel.